Welcome to the Daily Globe. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. A monumental shift is quietly taking shape in Southeast Asia, one that could alter the course of history for the region and the world. The Canal, a proposed waterway slicing across southern Thailand, has the potential to redraw global trade routes forever, offering a new path for the world's busiest shipping lanes. Backed by a staggering $50 billion in Chinese investment, this canal is more than just an ambitious engineering project. It's a bold geopolitical move that could shift the balance of power in Asia and beyond. The goal is clear: create a direct shortcut between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, bypassing the congested and strategically vulnerable Strait of Malacca, which currently handles over a quarter of the world's traded goods. For centuries, the idea of slicing through the narrow isthmus was little more than a distant dream, discussed by kings, merchants, and engineers alike. But now, in 2025, with new technology and unprecedented funding, it's closer to reality than ever before. For China, the canal represents a solution to its so-called Malacca dilemma. Its heavy reliance on a single vulnerable choke point for vital energy and goods imports, a risk that has long worried Chinese strategists. If completed, the canal could slash shipping times between Europe and East Asia by days, saving billions of dollars annually for shipping companies and global industries. But this new route also threatens to upend established economic balances and shift the fortunes of entire nations. Singapore and Malaysia, whose prosperity is deeply tied to the constant flow of ships through the Malacca Strait, now watch the project's progress with growing anxiety and uncertainty about their future roles in global trade. As the Canal project moves from theory to high-level negotiation, it has become a focal point in the ongoing global power struggle, drawing attention from governments, corporations, and strategists worldwide. The Canal is more than just a new shipping route. It stands as a symbol of the broader contest for influence, economic dominance, and strategic advantage in the 21st century. To truly understand the future of global commerce and geopolitics, one must first understand the significance and far-reaching implications of the Canal project. The ambition to carve a canal through the Isthmus is not a recent idea. It dates all the way back to the 17th century, when global trade routes were rapidly expanding and kingdoms sought new ways to gain an edge. King Narai of Siam first explored the idea in 1677, hoping to boost his kingdom's power by bypassing the long, pirate-infested route around the Malay Peninsula. He envisioned a shortcut that would transform Siam into a major maritime power, connecting the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea. Over the centuries, French and later British engineers surveyed the land, intrigued by the possibilities. Yet the project was always shelved, daunted by the immense cost, the challenging terrain, and the desire to protect Singapore's rapidly growing port, which would have been threatened by a new shortcut. The idea resurfaced in the 20th century, with Japanese strategists during W1 and later Thai politicians recognizing its strategic and economic value. Each new era brought renewed interest, but also new obstacles. Yet, political instability, shifting alliances, and financial constraints kept the canal a dream, one that always seemed just out of reach no matter how close it came to reality. The reasons for building it, security, economic advantage, and bypassing a choke point have endured for over 300 years. The Malacca Strait remains one of the world's busiest and most vulnerable shipping lanes, plagued by congestion and piracy. What's changed in recent years is the arrival of China, bringing not only the capital but also the political will and engineering expertise to make the canal happen. China's involvement has revived this centuries-old vision, turning it from a historical footnote into a world-altering project that could reshape global trade and regional power dynamics. The echoes of King Narai's dream now resonate in Beijing's halls of power, as leaders weigh the canal's potential to transform not just Thailand, but the entire region. After centuries of ambition and setbacks, the Canal is poised to finally become reality, fulfilling a vision that has captivated rulers, engineers, and strategists for generations. For China, the Canal is a masterstroke of strategy, not just infrastructure. It's central to the Belt and Road Initiative, connecting China to the world through a vast network of trade routes. The canal would be a critical maritime shortcut, cementing China's influence across the Indo-Pacific. China's Malacca dilemma is real. 80% of its oil imports and much of its trade pass through the vulnerable Strait of Malacca. The Canal offers a secure alternative, reducing China's exposure to blockades or conflict. Amid escalating trade wars and tariffs, the canal is a defensive move, insulating China from external pressures. It also has military implications, allowing Chinese warships to move swiftly between the South China Sea and Indian Ocean. This would boost China's ability to project power and challenge U.S. naval dominance in the region. The Canal is pivotal to China's long-term plan to reshape Asia's balance of power. As of late 2025, the Canal project is wrapped in official denials but real, behind-the-scenes momentum. The Thai government remains cautious, publicly undecided, but joint Sino-Thai working groups and feasibility studies are underway. Proponents argue the canal would transform Thailand's economy, creating jobs and new logistics hubs. A powerful business-military coalition is pushing hard for the project. Opposition is fierce. Environmentalists warn of ecological disaster, and some fear the canal could divide the nation and fuel separatism. Concerns about sovereignty and the influence of Chinese investment run deep. Internationally, a memorandum of understanding between Chinese enterprises and Thai partners signals intent to proceed. The final green light from Thailand's government is the last hurdle, with Beijing's pressure and economic incentives mounting. The world watches as the project edges closer to reality. The Canal could be the biggest disruption to global shipping since the Panama Canal. By cutting across Thailand, it would let ships bypass the Strait of Malacca, saving up to 5 days and 200 kilometers per journey. For shipping, time is money. Reduced transit means lower fuel costs and faster deliveries. The canal could save the industry tens of billions annually and ease congestion in one of the world's busiest waterways. The Malacca Strait sees over 90,000 vessels a year, leading to delays and piracy risks. The Canal would act as a relief valve, enhancing global supply chain resilience. But it would also force a rethinking of port infrastructure. Singapore and Malaysia's ports face existential threats, while new megaports would rise in Thailand. Shipping lines would have to weigh canal fees, port efficiency, and cargo destinations. The entire global shipping network would need to adapt. The stakes for regional economies are enormous. The Canal is emerging as a new and significant fault line in global geopolitics, drawing the attention of governments, strategists, and analysts worldwide. The US and its allies view the canal as a bold and provocative move by China, designed to expand its influence across the Indo-Pacific and directly challenge US naval dominance in the region. A former US Navy commander warned that the canal would give China backdoor access to the Indian Ocean, potentially complicating US operations and shifting the balance of power at sea. The project now rivals other strategic corridors, such as the US-backed Zangezur corridor, as both China and the US race to control the vital trade arteries that will define the 21st century. Regional powers are being forced to choose sides. India fears an increased Chinese naval presence on its doorstep, while Japan faces a delicate diplomatic balancing act between economic interests and security concerns. Some experts argue the canal could become a path to greater economic integration, opening new opportunities for trade, investment, and shared prosperity across Asia and beyond. Others warn it could spark a new era of military competition, heightening tensions and raising the risk of conflict in already contested waters. The canal is a double-edged sword, potentially a bridge for commerce, but also a possible catalyst for confrontation. Its true impact remains uncertain, and the stakes are high for all involved. The world's major powers are not just watching, they are preparing, strategizing, and positioning themselves for whatever comes next. The Canal's impact will echo far beyond Southeast Asia, shaping the future of global trade, security, and international relations for years to come. The Canal will create clear winners and losers in the global economy. Singapore and Malaysia, reliant on Malacca Strait traffic, could lose up to 30% of their shipping business, threatening their economies. Egypt's Suez Canal faces new competition, as the Kirar Canal shortens the Asia-Europe route and siphons off lucrative traffic. Thailand stands to gain most. If managed well, the canal could drive massive growth, create jobs, and transform its southern provinces into commercial hubs. Transit fees could add billions to Thailand's treasury. Globally, supply chains would become more efficient, lowering costs for consumers and businesses. But deeper economic ties to China could increase regional dependence on Beijing. The new trade order will shift the balance of power and create new dependencies. For Thailand, the Canal is a historic crossroads. Supporters envision a Thai Riviera, new cities, booming industry, and prosperity for the south. They argue the canal could bridge the economic gap between Bangkok and the underdeveloped south. But environmentalists warn of irreversible damage to wetlands, fisheries, and coastal ecosystems. Critics fear the canal could deepen separatist tensions and threaten national unity. There are also concerns about sovereignty, with Thailand potentially becoming more dependent on China. The government must weigh economic promise against environmental, social, and political risks. The choice will define Thailand's future and its place in Asia. The Kro Canal is more than a construction project. It's a symbol of a changing world. Control over trade routes is now as crucial as military might. The canal challenges decades-old patterns of commerce and power. It's a reminder that strategic competition is being built in concrete and steel, not just waged with tariffs and rhetoric. The canal could force nations to rethink alliances, economic strategies, and security. Its impact will ripple through global supply chains and geopolitics. The decisions made in Bangkok and Beijing today will shape the world for decades. Will the canal foster cooperation or fuel conflict? The answer depends on the wisdom of leaders. The future of global trade is being written now, with the Kro Canal at its heart. Staying informed is essential to understanding the forces shaping our century.